3, 2, 1.
It's the Puff and Steph podcast.
Hello, everyone. Puff and Steph hanging out with you. Happy Thursday. Gonna be a good one. Steph, how are you?
Hey, happy Thursday. Pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Made a change. I don't know if you saw it, but all of our shows are going to be available starting at 10 o'clock at night the day before. So, like, we just said happy Thursday, but it might be Wednesday night you're listening to this.
Right.
Just want to change things up, and it seems like people were really into it, and we'll just continue that for the foreseeable future. So
Nice to mix it up a little bit.
yes,
More options.
You can go to sleep with us and wake up with us.
Aw.
Whatever you guys want to do. Today's show brought to you by Freisinger Hyundai. Right on the price, right on the pike. You maybe heard it here first last week that the alleged murderer, Carol Baskin, is going to be on Dancing with the Stars. It wasn't official. Those were the rumors. Well, it looks like we were right. Carol
It is now
Baskin,
official.
Yes. The Dancing with the Stars cast has been announced. Let's see. Carol Baskin is going to be on from Tiger King. Also, Chriselle Staus of Selling Sunset. Don't know that show. NFL tight end Vernon Davis. I know who that is. Cheer. You know that show Cheer? Me neither.
Yes.
Anyway, Monica Aldama, I think I say her name. Jenny Mai of The Real. Nelly.
Nelly.
Yes.
That's so cool.
Anne Heche, the actress. Desperate Housewives person Jesse Metcalf.
Yes. I love him, and I love that show.
Well, good. Nev from Catfish, the guy who hosts Catfish, is going to be doing it. That's kind of funny. Do you know Sky Jackson from Disney? Is that somebody you know?
I think that was a little after my Disney time. Yeah.
Charles Oakley, the former basketball player, actress Justina Machado, figure skater Johnny Weir. That'll be fun. Also part of this year's lineup. And, of course, Caitlin Bristow of The Bachelorette and Backstreet Boy, AJ McLean.
He's the one I'm most excited about. That is so cool they got a Backstreet Boy.
Okay. I just want to touch on this for a second. This isn't the greatest cast that we've ever seen on Dancing with the Stars, but there's a couple not just stars, there's a couple straight up superstars on this cast. Nelly, probably the biggest star on there. AJ McLean from the Backstreet Boys. I mean, we're talking millions of fans, hundreds of millions of fans probably between the two of them.
Right.
Anne Heche was a big deal actress-wise back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Johnny Weir was America's sweetheart for a couple months. I'm just trying to think of anyone else who sticks out. But let's just focus on two of them. All right, let's just focus on Nelly and AJ. All right, like I said, between the two of them, hundreds of millions of fans. They've sold millions upon millions of records. They've been in sold-out arenas, sold-out stadiums. And they're being overshadowed by a murderer.
Carol Baskin.
Murderer.
Right, because Carol Baskin is kind of a right now person. She's talked about right now because of the whole Tiger King thing. She's not a superstar, but right now she's relevant, I guess.
And like I said, she was never charged. But let's be honest, she killed her husband and fed him to tigers. We know this happened. We know. I mean, maybe I should say allegedly so I don't get sued because she loves suing people. But that's probably what happened. And pretty much everyone except for Carol Baskin agrees that that's probably what happened.
Well, whenever they announced the cast, she said she's excited to set the record straight after she was villainized by that show, by Tiger King.
Let's set the record straight. All right. I want to hear. They're never going to ask her. That's probably in the contract. You can't ask me if I killed my husband.
Right.
She's probably going to want to set the record straight about how, like, she was mean to Joe Exotic. Nobody cares about that. You killed your husband.
Right. That's a bigger deal.
We know you did it. We know that you know that we know that you did it.
We all know it.
It's going to be this crazy murderous elephant in the room every single episode she's on.
Now, do you think she's going to get votes? Like, are Tiger King fans going to vote for her? Or do people hate her? Because, again, I still haven't seen the show.
I think people hate her.
Okay.
I don't think she's going to be a good dancer. I would say she doesn't get voted off until, like, maybe the second or third vote. But she doesn't last long. I don't see her lasting long. I think the front runners have to be AJ. They have to be Johnny Weir, just because he figure skates, he knows how to move. And Cheer's about cheerleading, right? I'm assuming.
Yes.
It's about dancing, so I'm gonna go the cheer coach, probably.
Right.
But you know what? Like, NFL players surprise you in this show sometimes. So maybe Vernon Davis has some moves. I don't think Charles Oakley's going to do well. He's just this big, tall, lanky guy. I think he's going to be awkward, especially since he's going to be so much taller than his partner. Yeah, I'm still not going to watch, but it's crazy. Imagine being Nelly, you're a superstar, or AJ McClain, you're a superstar. You're on Dancing with the Stars, and all they can talk about is some murderous tiger lady from a Netflix show.
Right, you're being overshadowed by Carol Baskin.
Completely. All right, maybe when you watch the show, and if they do ask her about her husband, pay attention to her, because University of Michigan has analyzed people with words and gestures to determine with 75% accuracy whether someone is lying.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you all the traits that you can, like, kind of take to the bank that someone is lying, or at least 75% sure, okay?
This is always good to know. This is good info.
The 6 strongest tells when someone is lying according to the study. When they gesture with both hands, not just one. See, I'm all like, yeah. But if they're like, they're trying to make a big production about it, I guess. They're like, no, I would never do that. What?
Very suspicious.
Yeah, like, you don't normally talk like that. Talk like what? Oh my God. What do you mean? I didn't do that. What's going on? Strong eye contact. Like, they're trying really, really hard to just look you in the eye and be like, no, I didn't steal your money. No. And then
they're trying really hard to make it seem
And then
legit.
with hand gestures, no, how could I steal your money? Head nodding as well. Imagine just someone doing all of this stuff, just making eye contact, head nodding, doing all the hand gestures. I'm like, I don't know if you're lying to me or having a stroke.
Are you okay?
Scowling. So like furl your brow?
Like, is that like actually like verbally scowling, like arr,
Like-
or like just in their face?
I don't know. Filler words. Such as, therefore, you know, vis-a-vis. I'm just trying to think of filler words to you.
Or like, what about like Does that include like
Maybe.
Like they're kind of just adding words in? Yeah.
Maybe. And number 6 was the weirdest one to me. They start talking about themselves in third person.
Oh,
they
that's really weird.
What do you like? Let's just go with the money stealing. Do you really think Puff would take money from Steph? Do you really think that Puff needs Steph's money? I do not believe that Puff would do something like that to his friend Steph. Absolutely not.
That would be suspicious.
That would be so weird. Like, why are you talking like that? Puff is not talking any different than Puff normally talks like.
Head nodding.
Yes, no. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, Puff and Steph have a brand new advice column. Puff thinks it's going to be quite good.
It's the Puff and Steph Podcast.
Freisinger Hyundai, a refreshingly different car buying experience. Freisinger Hyundai dedicates itself to customer satisfaction. From the initial sale to the maintenance you'll need during the life of the vehicle, Freisinger Hyundai treats you like family. Check out their large selection of both the latest Hyundai lineup to certified pre-owned and used vehicles. Come see how Freisinger Hyundai drives the difference and tailors the purchase process to your needs. Right on the price, right on the pike. Freisinger Hyundai, 6115 Carlisle Pike, Mechanicsburg, 717-766-8422. During this time, many are out of work and struggling just to get by. It's good to know that your friends at Capital City Buy and Sell in Harrisburg have your back. If you're in need of extra help during the pandemic, you can pawn or sell unwanted or unneeded items that you may have laying around your house, including jewelry, electronics, tools, musical instruments, and a whole lot more. Capital City Buy and Sell is open 7 days a week, and they're always paying cash. Plus, they have low pawn interest and terms if you aren't quite ready to say goodbye to your item just yet. Capital City Buy and Sell, 3517 Walnut Street, Harrisburg. Online at harrisburgpapawn.com. Great news, everyone! American Shaman of PA's doors are back open for normal operations, and they're ready to bring you the much-needed relief that you've been waiting for. They care about their customers, and their customers keep coming back for more. Steve K says, American Shaman products drastically decrease my back pain and relieve my stress in just 1 month. Thank you. Stop by your local American Shaman of PA store for a free CBD sparkling water and free samples. Find their locations and more at hempushealth.com.
Do you love saving money but hate buying one of those coupon books filled with places you'll never go to? Well, here comes Quick Save Coupons to save the day. Quick Save Coupons is an app where you can find savings for restaurants, stores, and experiences that you will love. And here's the best part. It's free. No big coupon books to buy, no websites to give your information to. Quick Save Coupons will show you all of the savings in your area right on your phone. Just go to Google Play or the App Store and download the Quick Save Coupons app. Then start saving money on many of the places you already go to.
Now back to the Puff and Steph Podcast.
Thursdays mean that we solve all the world's problems. If Steph and I were in charge, there'd be no poverty, there would be no war. We'd just be all up solving problems. Just dropping solutions on people like some basketball player I don't know drops threes. I don't follow basketball.
Me neither.
No. Okay. Anyway, today's advice column is interesting, and I think it could only happen in the time we live in. Check it out. Hey, Puff and Steph, thanks in advance for helping me out here. Don't get your hopes up, Sydney. Anyway, have either of you ever dated someone with kids? I don't remember you talking about it if you did, but let me tell you, it can be a real pain. Okay. I've been seeing my boyfriend Steve for 3 months now. Yes, we started dating during the lockdown. It was hard.
Tough.
It was hard, but it made our relationship unique because we had to be creative with our dates. Also, Steve never brought his kids around because their mother didn't want them to leave her place during the lockdown. Steve hated that, and he missed his kids, but he did agree to it. He talked about them all the time, and I can tell he's a good dad. But all that free time gave us a chance to really get to know each other. I know Puff is going to make fun of me, but at about a month, I started to think that he was the one. I'll make a little fun of you, but a month's not terrible. If you were like, within the first week, I knew he was the one I was going to spend the rest of my life with, I'd be like, really?
They say when you know, you know.
A month is a little quick, but it's not. I've seen worse.
It's reasonable.
Anyway, just recently, his baby mom started letting the kids go back with him, and it really hasn't been great for our relationship. The spontaneity is gone. We have to plan everything out now. Obviously, we have zero privacy when they're around, and our time together just doesn't seem as special as it was a couple of months ago. Now, I knew that he had kids, and I knew that we were going to be around, or they were going to be around more eventually, but I'm just not enjoying myself as much as I did when they were at their mom's house. I do like them, They seem like good kids. I just feel like Steve's attention is all on them now instead of me. As I type this, I'm realizing that I probably sound like a jerk, but I'm trying really, really hard not to be. I like kids, and I like Steve's kids. They're fun. But with most things still in lockdown, there are just limited things to do with the children, and our whole relationship is just different now than it was back a couple months ago now that they're in the picture. What should I do here? Do I wait it out till things open back up? Spend less time with Steve when the kids are around? I just feel like the bad guy here, and I really don't want to be. Thanks for hearing me out, Sydney. Okay, number one. I have dated someone with kids. It was very brief. She had one daughter. Very cool kid. It wasn't really like it was. I wouldn't even call it dating as much as I would call it seeing. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't anything crazy. Didn't bother me. Liked hanging out with a kid. Whatever. But as much as I want to pick on Sydney and be like, you knew he had kids. Like this is not a shock. Like 3 months in a relationship. By the way, I have 2 children. They're gonna be here in 5 minutes. Like that's not like she knew. As much as I want to pick on her, I kind of see where she's coming from.
I do too.
Because the baby mom decided to keep them with her the whole time for protection during the lockdown. And she got to see Steve in a completely different life than his real life. Light than his real life, if that makes sense.
Exactly. Yep.
So they got to do what they want when they wanted. Didn't really have any restrictions. Didn't have anybody to answer to. And she liked that. And now the kids are back in the picture. And I mean, I get it. 2 things. Part of me wants to be like, hey, this shouldn't be a shock. Suck it up. If you like them, deal with it. The other part of me does feel a little bit of sorry for her because she got, not on purpose, but she got a fake Steve.
Right. Because of COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad for her because like you said, she did know what she was getting into and she admits that. But for those first couple months, it was totally different and she didn't really know what it was going to be like when the kids were more involved. I think that dating someone who has kids is very difficult. I give people who do it all the respect in the world. But it has to be hard to, like she said about the spontaneity. You have to get a babysitter. You have to plan things. The kids have to come with. What time do the kids have to be in bed? Like it changes your whole relationship. Yeah. So I feel her.
So, well, that brings us to the question, Steph. What should she do? This was a guy that she, maybe prematurely, depends on who you ask, thought could be the one. But she thought kidless Steve was the one.
Right.
He's Steve with children now. Is he still the one? What does she do?
I think she needs, personally, if it was me, I feel like maybe give it a little more time to see how things progress while the kids are in the picture on a more normal basis and kind of see how she's feeling after a couple more weeks or maybe even a couple more months of more like normal life where the kids are always around. And if she still is feeling like, all right, this is obnoxious, I just want to do whatever I want to do without having a babysitter or having a bedtime for the kids, then maybe it's just not going to work out for her lifestyle. And she shouldn't feel bad about that. It should be whatever she's like happy with.
Now, I have friends who have kids, and I know that dating when you have kids is not just that person dating someone with kids, but the person with kids dating someone. It's tough. And there's a lot of people who steer clear of people with children.
Are you pointing at me? No, actually, when I was in college, I met a guy through work that it was never like boyfriend, girlfriend or anything serious, but we did kind of go out a couple times and talk, and he had 2 kids and I really liked him. So for a little while I was like, this could be okay. But then like Sydney, it was like, oh, the kids this, the kids that, we need a babysitter. I can't do this. I have to do that. And I was like, yeah, no, I didn't want to do it personally.
You don't want to be a mom?
No, I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah. Stepmom Steph. Stepmom, Steph.
thanks.
Okay, Sydney, give it some time. Maybe you'll adapt. Maybe you won't. You didn't tell us how old the kids were. You do realize that they're not going to be that age forever, and
That's true.
if one of them is older than the other one, eventually they'll be able to, the big one will be able to watch the little one, and then you guys can go do your thing.
Right.
If you really think that he's something special to you, you got to give it a little bit of time. You really do. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to him. Hopefully that helps you out. Guys, have any questions? Have any problems? We'll solve them, or at least try. Hit us up, Puff at puffandsteph.com, or on the Facebook page. Coming up next, someone got kicked out of a place for not wearing a mask, but this is a very unique tale.
It's the Puff and Steph Podcast.
Freisinger Hyundai, a refreshingly different car buying experience. Freisinger Hyundai dedicates itself to customer satisfaction. From the initial sale to the maintenance you'll need during the life of the vehicle, Freisinger Hyundai treats you like family. Check out their large selection of both the latest Hyundai lineup to certified pre-owned and used vehicles. Come see how Freisinger Hyundai drives the difference and tailors the purchase process to your needs. Right on the price, right on the pike. Freisinger Hyundai, 6115 Carlisle Pike, Mechanicsburg, 717-766-8422. During this time, many are out of work and struggling just to get by. It's good to know that your friends at Capital City Buy and Sell in Harrisburg have your back. If you're in need of extra help during the pandemic, you can pawn or sell unwanted or unneeded items that you may have laying around your house, including jewelry, electronics, tools, musical instruments, and a whole lot more. Capital City Buy and Sell is open 7 days a week, and they're always paying cash. Plus, they have low pawn interest and terms if you aren't quite ready to say goodbye to your item just yet. Capital City Buy and Sell, 3517 Walnut Street, Harrisburg. Online at harrisburgpapawn.com. Great news, everyone! American Shaman of PA's doors are back open for normal operations, and they're ready to bring you the much-needed relief that you've been waiting for. They care about their customers, and their customers keep coming back for more. Steve K says, American Shaman products drastically decrease my back pain and relieve my stress in just 1 month. Thank you. Stop by your local American Shaman of PA store for a free CBD sparkling water and free samples. Find their locations and more at hempushealth.com.
Do you love saving money but hate buying one of those coupon books filled with places you'll never go to? Well, here comes Quick Save Coupons to save the day. Quick Save Coupons is an app where you can find savings for restaurants, stores, and experiences that you will love. And here's the best part. It's free. No big coupon books to buy, no websites to give your information to. Quick Save Coupons will show you all of the savings in your area right on your phone. Just go to Google Play or the App Store and download the Quick Save Coupons app. Then start saving money on many of the places you already go to.
Now back to the Puff and Steph Podcast.
So we've been hearing stories about people who go into businesses and they say, excuse me, sir or ma'am, you have to wear your mask. And those people fight because they're jerks. By the way, it's not the employees or the store's fault that you have to wear a mask, okay? So stop taking it out on them. Just public service announcement. Anyway. We've heard of these stories, and like fights have broken out. Cops have been called. I'm pretty sure someone got shot the other day over this stuff. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. And normally we don't talk about it. However, I think we have to talk about this one. In Ontario, Canada, a woman battling lung cancer who breathes through a hole in her neck was kicked out of her local bingo hall because she did not have a mask over her breathing hole.
No.
She doesn't go out much anymore, but the 67-year-old was excited to see her friends again at the local bingo hall that was reopening following the shutdown. When she got inside, management asked her to cover up the hole in her neck. She explained that it was impossible to do because that's how she breathes. And unlike, our mouths or our noses that are kind of made for breathing and can adapt to wearing a mask, the hole in the neck, it's just a hole. And she doesn't really have any muscle control over it like she would her nose or her mouth.
Right.
Yeah. She was embarrassed, didn't want to create a scene, so she voluntarily left. When she got to the parking lot, she started crying. She went home, did some research on the rules around mandatory masks, felt she was treated wrongly. She decided to go back to bingo this past Saturday and try to enter again, but didn't make it past the front door before being stopped again. This is a travesty. She feels like she's being discriminated against.
Wait, so she's wearing a mask over her mouth and nose, but not over her breathing hole.
Right.
Oh my gosh. So is there any response from like government on this? Like, hey, that's wrong, or hey, you can't do that?
At the moment, no. This story just came out. Now, I know the people, or I've seen the people that talk through their, they do the thing with the thing and they put the John up to their neck and
yeah.
But like, okay, you and I can like breathe out like right from our mouth or our nose. I'm wondering if like, does it make a noise? Is it like, because it's not like your mouth can go, open and close, and you can do this or this, or even through your nose, like, right? Does the hole in her neck make a noise? Is it like? Is it something like that? Like, because here's the thing, I see her point, but I also kind of see their point, because she could be blowing out of her neck hole COVID-19, bacteria, germs, viruses. She could like legitimately be blowing out COVID-19 everywhere, and she can't control it. Like you and I, if we have to cough, we might be like, like, does she cover her neck? Like, does she do that? Like, what does she do over her neck hole? Does it cough? I have so many questions. So many.
I know, I do too. And I don't know how this works, but my like knee-jerk reaction is that maybe her not having it covered is actually impacting her more so than impacting those around her, because I feel like she might get dirt in it.
What's her name? Her name is Elaine. Elaine, I can hear your neck hole from over here. Wow, the wind is strong today. No, that's Elaine's neck hole. She refuses to put a cork in it during bingo.
Yeah, why doesn't she just wear a turtleneck or like a shirt with a high neckline?
Honestly, I was always told or understood that if you have certain medical conditions, you don't have to wear a mask. To me, this would be a really good example of a medical condition that you don't have to wear a mask. Right. I don't know about Canadian laws. I know in America, they probably wouldn't mess with her. It'd be like, oh yeah, the lady with the hole in her neck? Yeah, just let her go. Nobody wants to touch that situation. Right. But in Canada, they're like, gonna put a mask over your hole, eh?
Is that what they said?
Yeah. Okay, time to stump Steph. 11% of married men survey say they can't do this because of their job. Now, it's important that you know that they're married. 11% of married men say they can't do this because of their job.
Is this something that they're telling their wives they can't do?
No, they just can't do it in general.
Because of their job. So the fact that they have this job and are married are related.
The fact that, yeah.
Married men. Is it something physical?
The job?
No, like what they're not able to do.
No.
Is it something that you should do? Like something that's good for you?
Let me put it to you this way, because this is kind of a tough question. I do it. So I've never had an issue doing this since I got married. But some people do because of their job. Does that help?
So it's something, is it something that only married people do?
Right. It's something that would really only affect married men.
They can't. Does it have to do with like their anniversary?
Nope.
Something about being married.
11% of married men surveyed said they can't do this because of their job. What is this?
This is really hard. Does it have to do with like the hours they're working?
Nope.
Or like the physical activity, the physical demand?
It does have to do with physical demands of the job.
Oh. They can't do that.
Think about what married guys do think about what married guys do as opposed to what single guys do. Think about everything that changes when you get married. Like literally the second you get married, something changes about you.
Oh, it has to do with the ring. They can't wear their wedding ring. Yay!
Nice. Good job.
Thank you.
Way to
That
work
was a
out the
tough one.
problem. Way to work out the problem. I gave you
Thank you.
some hints, but you did a pretty good job. Another married man question. 54% of married men surveyed said they have not done this for their wives in the past year. What is this? I have done this.
Sent them flowers.
Jeez, Steph.
Woo!
Wow. Yes, sent them flowers. So, I've been a good husband and I've done that. So,
I was gonna say you do that pretty frequently, don't you?
I won't call it frequently. I do it infrequently to make it a special occasion when I do.
Right.
You know,
That's good.
you don't want to do something like send flowers too much because then it becomes like not even a gesture. It's like, oh, it's Tuesday, here comes the flowers.
It's just expected, right?
Right. You don't want to do that. That's my excuse. All right. We will see everyone tomorrow for the Friday show. Have a fantastic day.
It's the Puff and Steph Podcast.